Alright, I want to show what I built today. Got this garbage bag on it because it's starting to rain out. I don't want to waste a target, but this is my target stand. I lost my other ones in the flood I had here, and I built this thing cheap. Before tax, it was like $16 and change. I just want to show how I built this thing. It was so simple, yet it feels like one of the best stands I've ever built. It's not wobbly whatsoever. Now what I did is the basis for my stand is simply a 2 foot by 4 foot by 1/2 inch piece of plywood. You know, that's all you need for the main structure of holding a target. So instead of going around it like I did before with 2x4s, I just said, hey, why do I need all that when the structure of a 2 foot by 4 foot piece of plywood, it's a 1/2 inch thick, works. So you don't want to go less than a 1/2 inch because then it would be too wobbly. You need a 1/2 inch for that structural strength. And all I did, instead of buying actual 2x4s, I bought 2x3s because they were less expensive, and I figured that's all I'm going to need. I bought two 2x3s, and they were like $2.09 a piece. That was it. This was an expensive piece of plywood. You could probably get it a lot cheaper than I got. It was like 12 something. I'm sure you could get something of lower quality or something somewhere else. I went to Home Depot, a lot cheaper than that. But all I did was I took, this is one 2x4, I cut 2 3 foot long sections, and then you use the other 2 feet of that for the feet. Did that on both sides. And what I did to attach it, I just used 3-inch drywall screws. That's it, 3-inch drywall screws. And as you can see here, if you recess them a little bit, pretty much goes all the way through. So all I needed for holding this together is a couple like that, and they go through the whole thing. And then on the bottom, all I needed was 1 screw in each of these legs. Technically this has 4 legs, sandwiching that piece right there. But that is sturdy. It's not going to go anywhere. It feels really good. And you just shoot right through the plywood. So I've done that for a long time. And the only thing that's going to happen is you'll lose a bunch of the plywood in the middle, and that's about it. I wouldn't recommend your first cartridges you fire to be like a 22 short out of a little pistol or anything. But it's pretty much safe to fire anything at it. It's very sturdy, very cheap. And some of the drawbacks with the other ones were I couldn't get very sturdy of a footing. I had to do a bunch of different weird stuff, but with the way these, essentially they're 4 legs because there's a spot there, that really adds to the structural strength. I mean, there's no wobbling whatsoever. That's all you're going to need. You're going to need for that 2 2x3s, 8 3-inch drywall screws. I use drywall screws because they're a lot sturdier. They can take quite the impact with a drill head or a screw gun without stripping. And 1 2 foot by 4 foot piece of plywood. That's all you're going to need. Make sure to go 1/2 inch though. Like I said before, you need the structural strength. So that's all I did. And the specs of this thing is this whole thing from top to bottom is 6 foot 1 1/2. So this little guy right here, the top of his head, he's about 5 foot 11. You push this paper up to the top, he'd be 6 foot. So that's pretty realistic for getting some combat handgun practice in. Because for the most part, he's 6 foot. So that'll work. So I thought I'd share that. It's really cheap. Like I said, it cost me 16 bucks. You could get this piece of wood cheaper. You could probably make this thing for 10 bucks. So anyways, that's a way to make a cheap target shooting stand. It's strong. So I wanted to share that, and thanks for watching.